Okay, I think this is a little better. So, a few moments ago, I was trying to live stream from within VR utilizing the webcam within Immersed, and I think I have this a little bit better. It is not as good. I'm just kind of looking over at the stream. It's still not as good as it should be. It's a little laggy. I think uh, yeah, it's just a little laggy, but the audio quality should be good. I changed up going directly into the web browser, and now I'm going through OBS. So I've got a little bit of a background because the live stream video feed is actually relatively low resolution. Oh, awesome! Thanks, the Waffle 2. Sound much better now. I am going through OBS Studio now, so things are a little bit better. I guess maybe the web browser was probably causing some of the issues, but it does to me also look that it looks like the video feed is still not it's not as good as if you were sitting in the immersed VR room with me. So I still need to figure out what would be causing that issue. But just to share what's going on, I have the MetaQuest Pro headset on right now. I am in an app called Immersed, which is a VR world essentially that allows me to have virtual video screens up. So rather than looking at a computer monitor, I'm actually looking at virtual computer monitors in my VR headset that are pulling from my computer. So rather than having the Apple 27-inch studio display, which is just one monitor, I have a couple of large monitors spread across my entire gaze. And so if I look over to the left, I've got a monitor, I've got one in the middle, and I've got one over on the right hand side. And so this gives me a really good experience just for seeing a lot and having a lot more available without taking up a ton of desk space. And I'm going to do a video on this next week. I've got a video that I'm going to put out on working in VR because I'm actually sitting in a virtual coffee shop where other people are working. I'm going to try and move my camera around without messing something up here so that you can see behind me. Over behind me is the rest of the coffee shop, and in the coffee shop there are other people that are working. There might be less people because it's kind of lunchtime for a lot of folks, and so as I move my virtual camera back, I'm sitting in a seat in a virtual coffee shop, just hanging out with my virtual displays, getting work done. And on occasion, there might be some folks that jump in and we end up talking about, random stuff, just like you would with anybody else in a coffee shop. And what's cool about Immersed is that there are a lot of different virtual environments besides just the coffee shop. So I could be sitting here with my computer screens up and I could be getting work done. I can initiate my menu, which is on my hand. You can kind of see it. It's like a ring that shows up, but I see the menu items here, and I can make my virtual displays disappear, and then I can see there's one guy working over there in the coffee shop, and the rest of the coffee shop is empty at the moment. There might be another virtual room or public virtual room that has more people, but right now, lunchtime, probably less people. So what's cool is that there's this webcam feature. So I could be utilizing this webcam to have I can connect it just like a webcam to anything. So a Zoom meeting, a Teams meeting or whatnot, I could be using this VR webcam and I could be in the meeting in as if I'm in VR, which I think is kind of neat. And I think I'm actually going to try that next week on a couple of meetings that I have scheduled, is actually attend those meetings in VR just to try it out. Typically, things aren't as laggy as they seem to be right now, but one of the great things about the MetaQuest Pro headset is the face tracking. So as I'm talking, my face is moving, my eyebrows are going up and down, all the visual cues that we like to have when we're having a conversation with a person take place. And so it feels more real, even though I'm obviously an avatar and not real in what you're seeing. It's a representation of the real me, which kind of makes it fun. So I've been spending, I'd say, about an average of 4 hours a day working in VR, utilizing the nice big displays to have more screen real estate and without actually having to have those screens on my desk. And if you've watched any of my other videos over the past several years, I've gone through a variety of different displays as I've tried to find the display that works perfect for me. But as I'll mention in the video that I'm going to put out next week, one of the frustrating things about setting up your displays on your physical desk is you're kind of stuck with those physical displays on your desk. And the only way to move them and reorganize them is to physically figure out a different way to mount them. And in a VR world, I can create displays and set them up any way that I would like. Unfortunately, I can't just turn my VR screen around or my webcam around and point them at my displays. I think it would be cool if I could do that, but it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But it's cool because, like, if I'm talking with my hands or whatever, I mean, I'm moving. You can see my face. I could look around. There's just lots of realistic things that you can do, and it's only getting better. So I thought I'd hang out for a little bit, maybe get some work done, and if anybody jumps in and has any questions, probably hang out for a few minutes just trying this out. But make sure to, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you are, because next week I'll have a video that shows a lot more of this, and it's all edited and the thoughts are better put together than in this live environment. So what would you need to be virtually on or in the coffee shop? You'd need a VR headset, essentially. A VR headset. I'm on the MetaQuest Pro. The MetaQuest 2 also would work, but I find that the MetaQuest Pro has higher resolution, and that's much better for virtual displays, obviously, because we want high resolution displays. And while it's not as crystal clear as perhaps having a display right in front of me, it is really good. And I've been editing photos and editing video and working on websites and putting together email marketing campaigns. Like, all of the work and stuff that I do, I've been doing from my virtual displays. And so you really just need those devices. You need a VR headset, the computer that you would connect to. I'm on a Mac, but this also works on PC, and I think it also works on Linux. And so you just download the Immersed software to your computer, and while you're connected to the headset in the Immersed app, it connects to your computer, and it actually creates virtual displays as if I had 3 displays. So I have 3 displays up, and just as I would if I had 3 real displays, I could drag a window from one display to the other and have windows open on multiple displays. And so in the view that I'm looking at right now, my full view is one display. But if I look over to the left, I've got another full display. If I look over to the right, I've got another full display. And so I have so much screen real estate to get work done. I could set the resolution of them. They're really quite customizable. But yeah, there's new things coming, it seems, to the app, the Immersed app, every single week. There's software updates, and they're pushing out new features and things that that make the experience even better. I am in a public room right now, but I can just as easily jump over to a private room where it's a VR environment, but it's just me that's in that VR environment. There's nobody else. And so if I needed to be in a meeting and I didn't want to be sitting over here in the corner flapping my arms around and talking, even though nobody else can hear me because I have my mic muted, I can be in a private room. whereas right now I'm in a public one. Because I have my mic in VR muted, everybody in the coffee shop doesn't have to listen to me as I'm sitting over here in the corner talking uh, across in this YouTube live video. So it is really cool. There are some things that are not perfect about this experience, but I would say that the pros outweigh the cons for sure in being able to spend time in a VR environment with large displays that I wouldn't be able to fit on my desk, that probably wouldn't even be comfortable to have on my desk. Interact with people from time to time in the public environment, which is kind of cool as well, because I am sitting in a coffee shop and seems like there's another guy over there in the corner that arrived. I'll put my displays down. Oh yeah, we're back to just having one single person. I think that I could actually move around into different rooms while still having. I'm not really sure, because if I pull up, let's see what happens if I pull up my menu. It looks like the camera continues to go even though my menu is up. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into a different public room here. So I'll go to the public menu. We'll go from the cafe to the Alpine Chalet, which is a favorite of mine. Hopefully we stay connected here. Looks like it froze, so let me try to get the webcam back up. We've got the webcam back up. Hopefully the feed kept working and we didn't get disconnected. Oh, looks like we're still good. So I'm now in the Alpine Chalet, which is a different room. And I'll go ahead and rotate my camera around so that you can see the background here. So I'll put the camera behind me and then turn forward, and you should be able to see out into this beautiful view. So nice snowy mountains. Kind of looks like my view that I have here in Montana. Of course, this view's a little bit more grand than what I have out of my living room front window, but nonetheless, pretty cool. So I can come in here. We've got a fireplace over in the corner. Not putting off any heat that I could feel, but it's definitely a nice ambiance for just hanging out and getting some work done. So this is a public room, but there's nobody else in it right now. There tends to be rooms that everybody gather in. There's like a popular room for the day. Today it was the cafe. Yesterday it was it was like a space room. It's like you're in a spaceship kind of floating through space and you're looking down at Earth, which is a cool one. I'll actually jump into that because it's worth showing. So I'm going to pull up my menu again here, attempt to pull up my menu. Jumping between the VR remotes and hand gestures can be a little bit tricky at times. So I'm going to jump into another room, which will obviously freeze my camera for a second, but I should be able to continue talking. So we're going to go into the Space Lounge, and then I'll pull up my my webcam again here so that you can see me again, and I can move it around and show you what the Space Lounge looks like. So let me pull up the menu and get the webcam back on. It would be cool if the webcam would stay on as I jump between rooms, but I understand that just could be an issue. So I'm going to move my location. Behind me, there are a bunch of other seats available, and you can actually switch seats. So I'm going to move up to the seat that lets me look down, and you can see what's behind me now. There's kind of like this seating pit that allows us to gather and all kind of sit around and look at each other and talk. But as I move my camera around here, you should be able to see outside, and you can see Earth, and it's open view through the ceiling as well. And so I'm looking down at Earth or looking up at Earth, which is kind of a neat visual experience. And then there's lots of seats and stuff around in here for people to gather. Now, yesterday, Immersed wanted to do some testing of their platform to see how many people it could withstand at once, because obviously the more people on the platform puts a lot more stress on their servers and all of that stuff. And so there were a lot of us online yesterday, in a couple of the different rooms, and we were in this room, and there was a lot of people in this room. Basically, no seats available, which was pretty crazy to have that many people in one of these rooms at a time. So many different conversations going on. It was very much like being in a packed coffee shop, which might be a little distracting or a little crazy if it was like that all the time. But right now, it's very much a maximum maybe of like 6 to 8 people during peak times during the day, and usually 3 to 4 people. Like I said, I've been trying to spend about 4 hours a day in VR as I'm working from my computer, whether I'm editing a video or editing some photos or working on a website or anything like that. So I'm going to jump back into the coffee shop. So I'm going to pull up my menu. I'm using my remotes now to pull up my menu, and I'm going to jump over into, well, actually, I don't think anybody is left in Cafe Immersed. I think it's just me that is online right now, which happens around lunchtime. So I'm going to move my seat because I like being over in the pit where I can sit and hang out with others. Oh, it does look like there's somebody else in the room now. So I'm going to jump over to kind of my usual seat when I'm in the Space Lounge. And there we go. So let me pull up. Hey, how's it going? Awesome. I'm actually. You're what? Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, it's not a whole lot of people on today, it seems, but um, yeah. Got it, got it, got it. Uh huh. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that makes sense. Everybody's in private rooms. I didn't pull up my friends list, so I didn't pay attention to that yet. But um, yeah, I've been kind of messing around with the webcam and trying to get it to work in OBS and trying some live streaming just to mess around with it. So it's kind of uh the webcam's a little jittery when trying to run it through that many things. Yeah, that's been my experience. Yeah, I'm on the Quest Pro, and I don't have any comparison experience to the Quest 2, even though I still have my Quest 2. I haven't put it on once since I got the Pro. But anyway, still cool. Got it. Yeah, I've been remaining kind of just plugged into USB because I'll get like an hour and a half out of the headset in immersed, and then I end up having to charge anyways. So yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. I've heard people talking about it and I've seen it, but I have not tried Zenith yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll have to give it a try. I haven't I haven't messed with it yet, but I'll have to give it a try. Sweet. Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Interesting. Uh-huh. Yeah, for sure. That yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. Sweet. Well, I'm gonna mute my mic. I'll appear like I'm talking, but so I'll be talking off mic. All right. All right. So I tried to get my microphone to, well, the immersed mic to connect through OBS, but that wasn't happening. I feel like there's a setting there somewhere, but if I'm getting as bad of a frame rate as I am with the video, I would think that maybe there would be a lack of quality audio, which I'd prefer. I have my audio going through my Rode NTG mic, which is a lot better quality audio than what the headset would capture, and then also uh, goes directly into OBS. So if I was having any latency issues or whatnot, wouldn't have the latency issues with the audio, even though the video does appear to have some latency issues. So yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I'm enjoying this. It's definitely not. I mean, the experience lacks a little bit for sure because it's not real life. It is a little jittery at times, and sometimes there are some bugs and stuff that make the experience feel a little weird. But the reality of it is that I'm like sitting in my home office and I have large virtual displays that are actual displays connected to my computer so that I have more screen real estate than I would have if I was just staring at my computer screen. And I'll talk more about that when I put out my real video next week on this working in VR experience. One of the things that I can do, there isn't a way for me to like broadcast what I see easily to OBS to show everybody this experience. And so what I can do is record video internally, and then I'm going to include that in the video that I put together next week on what it was like working for a week in VR. So, the talking about the displays and the quality of the displays and all of that stuff, and how that feels working with virtual displays connected to real computer peripherals. So I've got my keyboard right here, I've got my mouse and my trackpad, and I can control everything on those virtual displays in real life within VR, which is cool. It's kind of a mixed reality type of thing. And it's not perfect for all scenarios, but in most of what I do throughout my work week, having the bigger displays is great. having a little bit of community, like I did a few minutes ago, talking to another guy in the Space Lounge room here, just talking about different opportunities within VR, playing some different games together and stuff like that. Just it's a cool community experience, and it's definitely for early adopters right now, but I think there's benefit for a lot of folks to give something like this a try, especially even if all you want is larger displays without having to take up that screen real estate. Because, like I said at the beginning of the video or beginning of this stream, I have a 27-inch Apple Studio display on my desk, but when I have my MetaQuest Pro headset on, I have very large displays with good resolution that I'm able to work from, and that makes for a nice experience and a nice break from looking at a smaller display at my desk. So I don't know. I might try doing some of these live stream things again in the future. Maybe have some music, some background music or something playing, and just work and have conversations with whoever jumps in to the live stream. So there's a couple more people that have shown up here. I'm going to go ahead and just pull my screen away. Looks like there's one other person. I'm going to pull my webcam around and put it behind me just so that you can see a few other people working in the room. We've got Steven and Jeff. Steven I've briefly met once before. Jeff is a regular in the room. Yeah, it looks like my head is blocking him now, so let me move the camera just a little bit over this way, see if... There we go. There we go. So, got two other folks in the room. Everybody's working from their computers, just like they'd be co-working in a real-life environment. Every now and then they're talking, and other times they're just, all you see is hands tapping away at a keyboard. And it's kind of cool. It's cool to be a part of something like this where you can interact with people, and that's totally normal, or you can just sit there and get work done, and that's totally normal as well. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe, because I'll have a video out early next week on my week-long experience working at least 4 hours a day in VR. And I've also been doing other things. I've been doing my workouts in VR, and that's actually been going really well. It's a fun experience to do workouts in VR, even though I don't enjoy sweating into a VR headset. It's been fun working out in VR as well. So that's another video that I'll have coming soon. So make sure to subscribe and like this video. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you back in another one soon. So that's going to do it. I'm going to end the stream, and I hope to see you back in another video. Take care.